All right, Dad, start. So now that we've tackled the traits and characteristics of verbal abuse, let's talk about tough love.
Okay.
Now, this is a positive one. We're kind of transitioning a little bit from the negative to the positive. Tough love is good. Let me tell you why. Tough love is a promotion of a person's welfare.
Okay.
So we came from verbal abuse, which is all negative emotions. Well, it produces negative emotions. So now we're promoting a person's welfare. This is always bringing me fresh air. It's like coming out of
I've
this.
never heard the definition of it.
Yeah, like coming out of that heavy topic of verbal abuse. Now you can see how tough love really is here to encourage and help.
Okay.
One of the methods that is designed to do is to encourage self-help. So when you're talking about people and character and how you can motivate, this is a method that you can use.
Okay.
This is a technique that definitely brings about positivity and change in people's character, in their behavior, in their drive, in their ambition. As you guys can see, I'm getting excited because this is something that I use. I use a lot of tough love. People look at me, I'm a tough cookie. I have been weak and vulnerable before, but as I begin to get older, I realize that I'm more of a realist type of person. I can be very frank. I can be very matter of fact.
Okay.
But I do like those qualities in myself because I like a very raw approach.
Gotcha.
I can handle it. You know, I'm a big girl. I feel like I can take it. You know, the whole pansy state like I used to be, I'm like, I ain't no pansy. Give it to me. Give it to me real. I'm ready. So that's kind of my approach with people too. So I do take the tough love approach.
Okay.
What in your mind, and that starts, what do you think about when you think about tough love?
I think it's a way to bring the best out of someone, even if they don't know their own potential.
Right.
You being somewhat a little hard on them in a loving way.
Absolutely.
And because what makes it tough love, it's even hard for you to do because you love them.
Right.
But it needs to be done in order for that person to grow and evolve into whatever they need to become.
I like that, to grow and evolve. Absolutely. What it does, it requires the person to take responsibility.
Right.
But unlike the negativity part of verbal abuse, it's a positive reinforcement. Now, instead of coming from a place of hostility and anger and animosity, now we're coming from a place of compassion.
Good.
Concern, consideration. We're coming from a place of being helpful and hopeful. And so all these words just edifies a person. It empowers them. It builds them up. That's exactly what tough love does. It promotes a positive reaction out of people. It promotes a person to feel good about themselves. So now we're not lowering the self-esteem. We are building the self-esteem. We're letting people know that, hey, you can do this. Yeah, I may be a little rough, maybe a little aggressive in my approach or abrasive, but it's coming from a place of love. It's coming from a place of compassion.
Wow. Okay.
Right. And so one of the things that when I was researching this and I read it, it said it's unsentimental but loving. And I was like, man, that's very powerful.
That's deep. Yeah.
That's exactly what tough love is. It's not coming with the very, I'm going to have a pity party with you. I'm going to be all crying with you. I'm going to be all sentimental with you. No, it's unsentimental but loving.
Good.
You know, I think that's positive. The purpose of tough love is to build up. It's to help the person take responsibility. It's a progression.
Okay.
Tough love helps you grow, like you just said, and develop. Unlike being verbally abusive or being verbally abused, it stagnates you. It holds you captive. Tough love is liberation. It's freedom.
Good.
It's hope.
Good.
It's faith. So, you know, we have to understand the difference between when someone is approaching us in a way that's a verbal abusive way versus a way that we're showing tough love. Now, let me say this, and that starts. Sometimes it can just be how we receive things. You know, I don't want to make it sound so bad and dark and gray, because sometimes when you have sensitive people, and trust me, as you know, I would be the crybaby growing up. I'm the baby in my family already, so my older siblings, like my brother and my sisters, what they would do, they would pick on me. They would poke fun. Or if I became a little spoiled, like a little baby, and I wanted to be in my whiny things, but there was something that we had to get accomplished, whether, let's say, for example, it's Mother's Day, and we're all collectively doing something for our mom, and I want to sit here and be the baby of it all, right?
Right.
Sometimes people can receive that tough love as a form of abuse.
It can. So
you have to really be mindful of your reception of things. You can be overly sensitive. There are a lot of overly sensitive people in the world. Again, I'm not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. Again, I'm not going to apologize because you know that's the truth. There are just some people, again, I used to be one. Like in my teens and in my early 20s, I would be the person that I'm crying about everything. If someone spoke too loud to me, if someone spoke too harshly to me, if they was very abrasive, if they was sarcastic, or they was confrontational, I'm like crying. My feelings are hurt, you know. About the slightest things, it's like, goodness. Grow up. Like, stop taking it personal. Like, who wants to be around a person that I have to walk on eggshells when I'm around? You're so super sensitive. You know, and as I got older, I had to realize, you know what, I am. You know, I would, second mom Didi, she says, stop being a pansy. Like, don't even come at me with all that crying and snotting and stuff that you're doing. You can't even talk. And it's not even that serious. Like, literally, it's not that serious. But the thing about it is, you got to be mindful again of how you receive things. If you notice that you are easily offended or you always take things to heart and people who love you and you know their intention is not to harm you, you know their intention is not to come at you sideways, to belittle you, degrade you, or demean you in any way, you need to do a self-check.
Right. You
know what I'm saying? It could just be you being a little overly sensitive or a lot overly sensitive and you're receiving things wrong.
Exactly.
You know, I'm going to use my mom as an example, and I know she won't mind because she's overcoming some things. And again, like I said, as I was younger, I would be the one who would be very, that's not a word, very emotional and sensitive. But my mom, sometimes she can get really her emotions. She's a very emotional person. Like, she'll take things so critically, she'll take things to the heart, and it'll just destroy her. She'll be crying sometimes, or she'll get very upset or angry. Sometimes you don't know which person you're going to get. It could set her off, or she could just be like, oh, you know, be all sad about it. But what I have been telling my mom, like, Mom, you got to learn how to control emotions. Especially for people who love you. People who love you and they have demonstrated their love to you, they're not coming to harm you anyway. So the things they say that may be tough love, you may take it as a form of abuse. So you have to do some self-examination sometimes. You got to do some self-checks and say, you know what? Would my mom really come to hurt me? Would my husband intentionally say that to hurt me? Because if, let's just say a husband and a wife, for example. If he comes and say, you know what, baby, I think it's a good job that we both get back into the gym. We kind of been really lackadaisical about our health and our weight. I think it's something that we both should do. If that wife takes it as he just called her fat, you're being overly sensitive right now. Because he didn't say you, he said we. He put the blame on him as well. He put fault with himself as well. But if you hear, and you're that wife, you hear we, let's, us, then you got it. That's tough love. It's not something that comes to abuse you. It's not a toxic thing. It's not something that comes to degrade you. So we got to, again, be able to recognize the difference between verbal abuse and tough love. Also, tough love could be something that, again, it's transforming. It starts in your mind. Just like the verbally abusive person or the words, it starts in your mind even with the tough love. You have to be able to stand firm on what you believe. You got to be able to liberate your mind, set your mind free, transform it, come out of that captivity, and just be reactive to a more positive situation, a more positive perspective. You know, can you give me some examples at that starts of how you have used tough love, or you've been a person who received tough love?
I am and was being mentored, and I speak for myself this time. You just gotta stop making excuses. Like you said, the truth is the truth, and when you hear it, you may not want to accept it, but you know it's the truth.
Absolutely.
And once you get it in your mind and you know that it is the truth, you gotta start doing something about it. And the person who was mentoring me said, you don't want to really make it because you're not doing what you really want to do to make it. People who want to make it, they don't let nothing stop them. It's simple. So what? You got a job. When you come home, you're off. You have that time all the way up till you go to work tomorrow, the next day, to work on what you really want to do. There's no excuses. And I've come to realize, like, there's always someone or some people who have it way worse than you have, and they're exceeding and they're achieving all their goals, and you're stuck and feeling sorry for yourself or frustrated and pointing the blame when you have complete control over your life and your actions. So that tough love, starting with that other person, first recognizing and verbally acknowledging it for you, and then triggering that own internal tough love within yourself. Like, I love myself, I'm getting mad with myself, I'm done with myself not doing anything, and I'm gonna get up and get out and go for what I believe in. And myself, it ignites that fire inside of you, is powerful if it's used in the correct way. And the person who was talking to me, he meant what he said, and but there was love behind it. He doesn't waste his time with nobody that he doesn't think has the potential to do anything. And the truth is of the matter, we all have the power to change the course of our future. It's just up to you if you want to do it. But if you can't even take someone who cares about you, that you have verifiable proof, this person loves you, this person cares, they've been with you already through thick and thin, but the moment they say something that may strike a chord with you,
that you don't like.
Yes, that you don't like, now you're against them, and that person, you know that person loves you, then the issue is you.
Absolutely. Take full accountability for that.
Exactly.
And that's hard for a lot of people to accept. It's one of those things that you don't want to admit. Again, you know it's the truth, but you don't want to accept that truth. But as soon as you do, now you begin to overcome. You can heal from things. You can progress from things. Again, grow and develop. We are our worst critic.
We sure are.
And so we're sitting here downing ourselves, thinking that we can't do something or we just don't have the drive to do it. You gotta just dead all that. You gotta stop all that negative self-talk and give yourself tough love. You know, I always talk about self-motivation sometimes. You know, get in the mirror and be like, you know what? I can do this. I'm going to do this. I'm not going to sit here and keep playing around with myself like I don't want this. Because if you don't, it just says that you really don't want it. Again, it's a hobby for you. It's not a lifestyle, you know? And again, sorry, not sorry, but it is a hobby. It's not, you don't really want to start a business. You thought about starting a business. It might be something you do on the side. You don't really want to be financially free. You just want to be okay.
There's a price to pay.
There's a very high price.
We don't see the success of other people. But there's a price that they pay and are still paying to maintain that success. So if you can't do the small things, you can't get up out of the bed at 6 o'clock, and your competition is getting up out of the bed at 4 o'clock.
4 in the morning, right?
I mean, you just don't really want it.
You just falling behind, and then you can't blame anyone but yourself. Like there's no God, there's no devil, there's nobody who you can blame. Blame you. Like, take full responsibility for that, and that's what tough love does. Tough love definitely comes to make a person responsible. And then there should be noticeable change in behavior. You know, sometimes you may have to shock yourself. You may have to give yourself that shock value, that tough love, that get up and go, that gumption. And another main thing is to be consistent. Once you are consistent with doing something every day, they say 21 days. I think it can be shorter. I feel like if you can do something for 5 or 7 days, you have mastered that, and it's nothing for you to continue to do it. Now, for those who say, you know, it takes a little bit longer, I totally understand, I get it. But I'm just saying, make it a habit, because if it's a priority to you, if it's important to you, this will be no reason for you not to get up and have your full ambition, reach your potential. I think this was a good topic at that start. I hope you all just really understand the difference between verbal abuse and tough love, how to receive things. As always, I'm just saying, we want you guys to like, follow, subscribe to our channels. You can find at Dad Starts on all social media
The
platforms.
last one of them: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook,
Everything.
and YouTube.
You can find me on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at Shelly D. Cotton or Michelle Cotton. Follow the I'm Just Saying podcast. Make sure you know you're getting your personal development. This is what we're here for, to personally help you get developed and just to empower you.